Hello, everyone. Welcome to Judah Reigns. And today is June the 2nd, of course, Tuesday. And today we have heard of a verdict that has come in regarding an Asian man of a store that was acquitted of unaliving a black teenager who he accused of stealing something, and the teenager did not steal anything. And of course, they had watched the teenager, of course, a black young boy who came into the their liquor store or their convenience store, and as with so many stores like this, they usually, if you're black, they watch you like a hawk. I haven't been in those kinds of stores in years. When I noticed that, I think it's probably been well over a decade and a half, maybe even more so. I think I abstained from doing that, or at least started to decrease my desire to go into those types of convenience stores where they were the owners back when Rodney King was the trial of Rodney King was going on. As you know, the aftermath of the uprising that happened after that acquittal, many of the people from the Asian community were actually openly attacking black people, and most of their stores, especially in LA, were in the black community. They are the blood suckers, one of many of our communities, or have been even now. I don't think it's as prevalent, but I could be wrong. I think a lot of us, as a nation of descendants of American slaves, have really stepped back from having them profit off of us. But there are still great swaths of spots, especially in the South, where that still takes place due to the poverty and the location. I forget the name. Things that are close to you, that you use whatever's near to you, that people rarely go out of a 15-mile radius for their lives as far as their economics, like gas stations or food, or even with doctors or whatnot. They usually stay within a 15-mile radius. And so after the Civil Rights Bill was signed, one of the things that American white men and women did, but primarily white men, was they strategized of how to keep us locked in to the condition of slavery, pretty much in relation to what they have, to be resource deprived and to not really honor the agreement of the civil rights in the way that it was meant to, which it was to uplift us out of the condition that we were in due to transatlantic slave trade and all the other subsequent maladies that and object violence that was heaped on us as a nation. So they brought in a lot of people from the Asian world. And so you have like from China, from Japan, from Vietnam, not too much for Koreans, but some, but from that part of the world, and brought them over and set them up in our neighborhoods deliberately. And because erroneously, what was left of the silent generation, and definitely the baby boomer generation, in their desire for proximity to whiteness as close as they could get, and of course, we are not a closed-minded, selfish people. We don't close ranks in that manner, especially when it comes to foreigners. We are very curious and we allow people in. We sometimes we close ranks against each other, especially if there's family issues. We have no problem in closing ranks, but when it comes to outsiders, we just do not have that, or we haven't had that until recently, when we were forced to wake up to what happened happening to us. And so So these people came in, and they took on the cloth of white supremacy, right, or white adjacency, and they have treated us like dirt all these years and decades. And when the two worst ways they have done this was to participate in our economic demise. They did not leave behind a blessing. And so they would take, but they wouldn't help the community. They would take, and then they would use violence and suspicion and believe everything that came out of the white man and the white woman's mouth about us. And so they even to this day, that's how they interact with us, if they do at all. And from what I've been told by one of the elders is that um, people like that usually hate you more. They usually have a real disdain and a real phobia about you. And so this young man, this plays into that today's acquittal plays into the point that these people have not changed and it's actually gotten worse. But one of the things that I want to key in on is the fact that I believe that America has set up this acquittal, and that quite possibly behind the scenes they have given the charge that these people, and this is allegedly, that the jury or whoever was judging would come back out with that verdict. And why do I say that? I say it because it's a strategic maneuver. You see, America needs our spiritual equity. They need us in order to function. The Illuminati now really need us in order to maintain their power. They see that they're losing a grip even on your average everyday white person. They're losing a grip on that the reality, the false reality that they have built in order to keep themselves in power. They need us for this last little bit so that they can finish out whatever projects they got going on. And so the Most High has removed our spirit from them, which is why things are so blatantly out in the open, which is why the truth has been rolling out every single day. We're finding out more and more things that the people that white America and all of the world have worshiped and have put on high and have looked at them as if they're demigods. And now they know that they're not. And because their star, so to speak, has fallen, they are desperate to get us out there to get our to get us going so that we will go out there and protest, and they can draw from that and use that power to get them over the hump. My prayer right now, my ask for the Most High, is to keep us home, to not let us react. And indeed, I must tell you, as of today, I have to take moment by moment, hour by hour. Um, I hope that keeps, because I can feel it and sense it in the air that we were like, nope, we already, nope, it's a different day. It's a new day. We will not be getting out there protesting at all. We are not even going to use our blood, sweat, and spiritual equity to even tear up this place. Nah, no. We're leaving that to the Most High God, the creator of the universe, who's already made plans. You see, the deal is you got to look with your third eye. And I hope, and again, I'm praying now and I'm asking the Most High. It's not cowardice, it's strategic. You see, they acquitted this man because they want us out on the street. And if you're listening to this message, and I would really encourage you to really share this message. Please share this message because it has to get out. And I think that I'm hoping, and my spirit is going out to our people and asking the Most High that we remain calm and then say this so that it can get out there to everyone that they are desperate. They are desperate to feed off of us, and they've been shut off from doing that. And we must continue to abide by that. And I believe that because we didn't have any meetings, so to speak, we didn't have any committees, so to speak, to do what we have been doing for these last a few years, I believe that that it will hold. and that there's a sense for us as descendants of American slaves that something is on its way. And I'm telling you now that that something is the coalescing of the Lord's great army. That is the Most High Creator of the universe that is going to deal with this and going to produce justice. You see, and so yeah, they did that today, and today is Tuesday, and so yes, I think that that and here's the thing, it is so blatant of the maneuvering of it. I mean, obviously, they gunned down the reaction of these individuals was way excessive and beyond any action aside from their racism. And I'm not going to even put alleged in there. They killed him because the program that they have decided to accept, and this is the Asian deciding to accept it. You see, that is not a human being, and so, or it is something to be less than an animal, because they wouldn't kill. There's certain animals that they hold sacred, but cattle or things beneath them, they take out. And so that it was the motivation, that anger and that unwarranted hatred that too many of them have, you see. And too many of them want to be white. They want to engage in white people, and even with people in China, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, they're the next." No, they're not. No, they're not. This show is over, and so and there's no way. And the Most High is letting us know there's no way I'm putting them in charge of anything at this juncture. And so, because they have a lot that they got to deal with, you have over there in that part of the world where these people are literally still trying to lighten their skin. They really are trying to get that alabaster whiteness. They have creams and procedures that they do in order to do that. And they move women in. The ones that they put up on high as beautiful have that aesthetic to them. And so, yeah, so the whole world is sick. The whole world is infected with this most hideous demonic disease called white supremacy. And it is global. And so, even with this pronunciation about Asians are basically wannabe whites. And so, these men and women who are in the upper government are hoping to elevate themselves so that they can feel like now they reached the throne of whiteness. And please understand that. Please understand the spiritual implications of that. And so they're no friends of ours at all. I would take the Russians over them as far as maybe having some attribute of what blackness in its divinity may mean and accepting that. And indeed, President Putin even stated that in front of his nation with his governmental cabinet, stating that the original divine Holy Mother, Holy Father, Holy Baby Jesus was of black. And so nobody prompted him to do that, unless it was the Most High in the background. And if that is the case, he followed that. But China and the Asian world and come out and back him up and say, oh, this, and they're supposed to be allies, you see. So look at the bigger picture of what is going on. And again, this is. I believe that this, yes, whoever was on that jury, yes, they have that going on in their brains too, as far as superiority and looking at this black child. Not, at that point of him running away, he wasn't even a criminal, and the Asian person could easily just call the police and give a description. They have cameras everywhere and have him deal with that way, but that wasn't his motivation. His motivation was lower and darker than him even thinking of that black young boy as being having a right to life. You see, please understand that with too many of their race, unfortunately and tragically, and also very demonically, that they view us, and I would even say even African people, but really us. They view us with a special kind of disdain, and almost to the point of being monstrous. It is that depraved on their end. That is a sickness that they are going to have to confront and face. And uh, so it's no surprise to me that that American and white men and white women know this about the yellow man. They know this. Why? Because they're the ones that propagated it. They're the ones that had the anointing to get it in there into the atmosphere, you see, and into the world. So you can breathe it in and drink it in with your eyes. The vicious lie of supremacy in the vein, in the way that they explain, in the way that European people have propagated it throughout the known world, in the most deplorable way, in the most bloody way, the most unaliving way that they could do so. And the world has drunk it in, largely has drunk it in, and believe it. And there is a saying, and I'll close with this. There is a saying in 12-step programs and recovery when you go through groups that those that are who are the family members or those who have intimate dealings or a long period dealings with an addict or an alcoholic, that that person who is the codependent or the family member or the friend or whomever is sicker than the actual person with the disease. There is a saying out there. So when we think of the adjacency of the yellow man or the Asian man, we have to concede the fact, or we have to concede the fact that this man is sicker than the American or the white man that he is desirous to emulate and lay next to. He is desirous to emulate, lay next to, and be, and encompass. He is that sick. And so, in the light of that, it will begin to really explain how that this young man, they couldn't find anything on him. And they knew he didn't take the water. They had already, in the store, from what the reports saw, they had already uh, known that the young man didn't take anything because they was watching him like a hawk. But because of what was going on in their minds and in their hearts and the story that they were telling themselves, they weren't going to let him go free, you see. And so he got out of there, and he tried to get away from the situation as you would do, as you would do. But unfortunately, you're not dealing with sane individuals. And I will say this, I will close with this. I am happy to see that my people, that we haven't been frequenting their business as much. And even now, I haven't been in, I haven't paid any money to them in ages, in years. And any type of food or anything I've received is because it was either through work or some type of other party that's what they wanted to do. But I would encourage us to really continue to not patron their businesses. Go to, if you have to walk to a longer distance, then I say put the blood sweat equity into walking to another establishment. I wouldn't even go to any part of that part of the world, and in all of its forms and all of its colors of beige and whatever features it has, if you can help it. I try to, I've been doing that even now, just kind of just going to different places, even for my gas, which becomes harder and harder here in California. But there are still establishments where where you can get it, where you're not getting it from people who disdain you and despise you even more than the original perpetrators of this world. And so And if I do have to like go and get gas and they are there, I don't purchase anything else in their stores. I really don't. I just get the gas and I go. I do not want to enrich them knowing that they harbor this, and I can feel it in the spirit. There are times I can just pull up and I know that what kind of gas station I'm in even before getting out my car. I can literally pull up and know. It's even getting to the point I can even sense what country they may be from, even just by the way if I do see them, the way they look and the way they walk. So be in tune, be in tune. I know it's hard, brothers and sisters, but we have to kind of go into that type of discipline because we're propping up what you're giving them reason to treat you the way that they treat you. Not that they need one, but you're making it okay. But for the Most High, you're giving them your spirit when you go into these establishments. If you can help it, if you can help it, don't knowingly. I would encourage you to not knowingly go into their establishment. Don't. If you have to drive further to get to the enemy that you know, because we got to buy from someone, I would say try to stay buying from a white person as much as you can. Ultimately, we are going to have New Jerusalem will be the economics will be circulated in between one another. It will not be going outside of New Jerusalem. And I can also, again, I can see why New Jerusalem is not in, yeah, I can see a lot of things now. Anyway, that's all I want to say. And yes, they have to have an economic hit. But more importantly, again, I don't think we'll be out there protesting. That's what I'm praying for now, is that we don't get out there acting a fool, because then we'll be playing right into the hands of the powers that shouldn't be, because they want to suck up souls. You see, they want to suck up that energy because these white people, they're going after them about these data centers. And so that is telling them that they're losing their grip on the foundation that has been protecting them. And we want them to do that. We want them to lose that grip. Okay, so we got to do this strategically. Do not give them your spirit. Do not get out there. I know you want to, but it's not going to help. It's not going to help. And it could actually be proved to be a detriment to us. Now, of course, the Democratic shills will probably have a small march or whatever. They will do whatever they've been doing there, which is all they doing. But we cannot let it get to the point of what was in the Rodney King's riots. We just cannot. They got to know that, no, they have lost us. And the Most High has already put that spirit in the atmosphere. It's up to us to pay attention to it. And where we can't, we need to then pray to the Most High and ask for that help. And my heart goes out to the family of that young man. But I think too, we also need to think about where we put our dollars. Where we put our dollars. You can do farming. You can do where they have. Look for your local farmers market, because many times you have local farmers market, especially in the South. That's probably where you'll have your black farmers out there selling stuff. Go patron them. Get off your behinds and walk or use that car and drive a little further to go patronize their little areas. You might get better food that is not literally like most of what's in these stores are filled with all kinds of chemicals that they have in these Asian or immigrant foreign stores. There's nothing in there healthy for you. And in the few times I have walked in there, I'm just like, my goodness. No, 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 no. So anyway, that's all I want to say. Thank you for listening.